Welcome to our channel. In this session, we are going to discuss about forms in HTML. First of all, what is a form? The general meaning is we are filling some application form. There it consists of user details, that is the name of the user, gender of the user, age, email ID, phone number, etc. That is a normal application form. Similarly, you are going to fill an application form in a web page. Whatever the application you filled, that application is transferred to, that is stored in the web server. That is, here this HTML form is used to collect that user information. So the main purpose of form is to collect user input. What is the name of the tag? The name of the tag is form. It is a pair tag. Pair tag in the sense both opening and closing. Between this form tag, you can write different subtags. Generally, what are the subtags or what are the elements that you can return? Mainly related to input. So the different types of inputs, either text box, checkbox, radio button, submit button, reset buttons, etc. Now, what are the attributes that a form consists of? Once you create a form tag, it consists of mainly these 5 attributes. What are those? First, I will explain briefly here. Step by step, we will move in detail. The first one is name attribute. Here you can give any name. Remember the name attribute on any topic. It is used only for JavaScript validation purpose. So here you can give any name. Now, method. What is the method attribute purpose? For example, I filled all the user details. Okay, the user details, once I submit, those are moved to the some server. In what way the values are moved to the server? So the method attribute specifies the type of method we are using to submit the values. So here you can use 2 types of methods, either get method and post method. Now, action. In the simple terms, once we submit the value, we are moving into some another page. That is which page you want to move. Once the submission, that is done by using action. Target attribute means anyway we are moving to some page, some result is produced. In which window the result is produced? Suppose the result is produced on the same window or the result is displayed to the new window, that is specified target where the result is specified. And the last one, ENCTPY, encryption type means before sending the data to the server, it encodes the data. So this ENCTPY specifies how the browser encodes the data. These are the form attributes. Okay. Anyway, we will discuss each and every attribute in detail. Okay. Before explaining this one, you need to know different tags that are placed inside the form. We already created the form. Inside the form, you can place different tags. So these are the tags. So step by step, we will move on. The first one, label. The name itself specify. Label means simply a name. Suppose if some radio buttons are there, check buttons are there, if it is difficult to understand, in such cases, some text message is displayed. for any type of element, you can create a label. You can create a label, just a name. Okay. Now, this is the most important tag we are using. Input. Why it is important? The form purpose is to take input from the user. So to take input from the user, we are using this input tag. Now, this input tag consists of the input in different ways. For that, we are using the type attributes. Now, what is the tag name? Input type attribute. Here, we can provide different types. That is, you can provide text information, you can provide password, you can create the checkboxes, radio buttons, submit buttons, reset buttons. So, any type of information you can give. Any type of information you can give. Now, first I will create one simple form. Okay. And then we will move on step by step. First to create one simple form. Observe how I am writing form tag. Within this, first create one label. Suppose user name is my label. Okay. Now, input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text. Break. Break purpose is to move to the new line. The purpose of break is to move to the new line. Break. Next, label. For example, give password. So remember, whatever you written in the label, that is the message that is displayed. Password, input, type is equal to, what is the value? Password. Close. And give the break. Okay. These are the just two inputs. Suppose if you want, you can give some more input. Anyway, we will discuss briefly in detail later. First to understand briefly, input type is equal to submit. Input type is equal to reset. Close. Now save this one. So you know the procedure. What is the procedure? Second. Okay. Okay. This is not required. Everything is clear. Here. Okay. Everything is clear. Now move to here. Paste the path. Observe, username is created, password is created. Here username is text box. For example, I am given some text. It is taken in the form of text. Password displays in the dot format. Whatever here I entered 123 number. Okay. Just to submit and reset. Just I am creating two buttons. For these two buttons, right now they are not doing anything. Just I am creating two buttons. Now you understand? This is the way to create the text box. This is the way to create the password. Now we move on step by step. We move on step by step. What are the attributes? So anyway, once you create the input tag, it consists of different attributes. First one, name attribute. So what is the name specifies? You can give any name. For example, I will write like this: input, some type is equal to text. Name, user1 is my name. Now value is equal to, here you can give any value. You can give any value. First I will explain these two. Anyway, move parallelly. Input type is equal to text. Okay. Now name is equal to some user one, just to validation purpose. Value is equal to, suppose I given this value. Now check what happened. Once you are executed, by default the value is displayed in the text box. So here refreshing, see this one, the value is displayed in the text box. Anyway, if you want, you can remove and retype, but the value is displayed. That is the value tag. Next to one, if you want, you can remove value. Why? Value is highlighted. Placeholder. Suppose enter name. Now save and execute. You will understand the differences. See this one? Here the value is not displayed. Placeholder. Simply it specifies. Here some message enter name. You are entering some message. Now you understand the difference between the attribute value and placeholder. Yes. Now another one, size. One more attribute is size. The size of the text box. Suppose I am given some 50 pixel. Here remember, whatever this is not only for this, you can write for this one also. Placeholder is equal to enter password. Save. See, here enter name, here enter password. Now you observe the size of the text box. The size of the text box, 50 pixel. I changed. Now size you can understand. Size specifies the size of the text box. Now the next attribute is max length. Even though the size is 10 characters, what is the maximum length? Suppose I given maximum length some 6, means the text box can store maximum of 6 characters. Observe right now 4, 5, 6. Here see. Here it stores. Why? Save. Refresh. Now I forgot to refresh. See, here I am trying to type the 7th letter, but it is not taken. You clear the point? You clear the point? So this is. Now the next one, you have one more attribute, read only. Read only means it is not possible to change. By default, read only is equal to false. Suppose if you are given read only is equal to true. Now move to here, refresh. Observe here you are not allowed to type anything. That field is used just for reading purpose only. Reading purpose only. Now everyone clear? Understand what we discussed? The name attribute. Value means whatever you are given, that value is available. Placeholder means simply display some message. Size, the size of the field, either text box, whatever it is, the size of the field. Maximum length, that is how many maximum, how many number of characters you are allowed in the text box. Read only. Read only, by default value false. That means you are allowed to change. Suppose read only is equal to true means just for reading purpose. It is not possible to do any modifications. Now, next one, disabled. For example, here I written here, disabled. If you want to do any text box or any password or any submit, any reset, whatever it is, if you want to disable any input, we are using this disable. Now we observe reset is highlighted. Now I am refreshing. Now observe reset is disabled. Reset is disabled. So up to this, we can apply to text box, password, everything. Now, rows and columns. If you want to understand rows and columns, you need to move another point. Now, this is the example. Text field, we already discussed this text field. Anywhere radio button, checkboxes, submit, reset button, we will discuss. Next one is text area. Till now, only one, suppose type is equal to text, means only one text box is created. If you want to create a box with multiple lines of input, what is the name of the tag? Text area. Previously, input type is equal to text. It creates only a single line of text. If you want to create multi-line input field, we are using text area. Here, the two attributes, columns and rows comes. You understand, column specifies how many number of characters that are visible in the line. Rows, how many number of lines visible in the text. Anyway, name is any name. Name is, you can give any name for JavaScript validation purpose. Now, here I am removing all this just for understanding. Create one text area. Create one text area. Within this text area, just I am displaying some message, whatever it is. For example, data structure is a way of organizing the data. It is two types. Just to some message I written, two types. One, linear. Two, non-linear. Okay, I written this message. For example, copy. So like this, if you want to write multiple lines, then we are moving into text area. Now refresh. See this one? Here data structure. Here some scroll bar is also created. Scroll bar is also created. This is depending upon the size you can change. Now here I am updating my attributes. Suppose rows is equal to how many number of rows you want? So I want 5 rows. That means understand calls, that is the number of characters that are visible. Suppose calls is equal to 20. Now refresh. Now understand. So total 20 characters are visible in a single line. And how many rows are visible to you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. 5 rows are visible to you. Now clear with the text area. Clear with the text area. Depending on your requirement, you can create a multi-line input. You can create a multi-line input. Now we are moving into the next type of input, that is radio button. So first I will give one label, gender break. Now create an input, type is equal to radio. Here, if you want, you can give any name. The names are used for JavaScript validation purpose. Give one break. Now write to input type is equal to radio, name is equal to some any name, that is not a problem. Now what situation we are using radio button? If you have multiple number of options, if you want to select a single option, in that case we are moving into this radio button. Now I am going to execute, save the path. Now gender, this is radio button. Click on male. If I select female, automatically female is selected. That is only one option is selected. Here one more additional attribute is there. Checked. The meaning of checked is by default. Whatever the option, suppose this one, by default, this is selected. Now save, reload, observe, this mail is selected by default, even though you are not clicking. Clear? That is checked option. Now, the next one is checkbox. So, checkbox purpose is if you want to select more than one option, if you want to select more than one option, in that case, you are using checkbox. For example, Java, checkbox, Python. If you want to create one more input, type is equal to checkbox, HTML. Now save and run this one. See, this is checkbox, Java, Python, HTML. You can select any number of options. You can select any number of options. Okay. These are the different types of buttons. Till now, what we discussed? Till now, we discussed this one. Now understand? So what is the form tag? What are the different attributes? Anyway, these attributes not at all covered. Just I given a brief idea. So form tag is completed. Label, input, text area. Up to text area is completed. You know the purpose of label. Different types of inputs. Okay. All these attributes except multiple, all the attributes are covered. The multiple is covered under the select tag. Okay. Text to fields, radio buttons, checkbox, submit, reset, text area. From the next session, we are moving into this select tag. Thank you.